moon's in Pisces today. So I thought, it's the end of our cycle. Like we're finishing the Taurus cycle this week because next week we go into Gemini. And so the energy starts to shift a little bit. And so Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So it's considered like the kind of the primordial soup of like the endings, and so it's a good time to like exhale, let go. It's not like the best time for intention setting necessarily because we're at the end of a solar cycle, and so the energy is waning. We're at the end of a lunar cycle as well, so it's a good time to just kind of like let it be, right? Like whatever is, like realizing sometimes we have to just let go, right, of the control of the trying. And so not that I'm going to say you don't have to try it all today, but that we just get to exhale today, that we get to maybe not push as hard, and we get to just kind of rest, let go, kind of let the energy dissipate, so that as the energy comes in for the new cycle, we have that ability to feel rested and replenished and fresh, right? So we'll work with that. So we'll do some good seated work, I thought, today too. So if you have release, this is a good one today. Heart honey would work too, but release will be good just to kind of help us just kind of release the energy of that Taurus cycle, so that we keep within us, like what we need and what we need to remember, knowing that it's now a part of us and that we can now bring in this freshness. So give yourself a spritz, and it can be anything else if you have another spray that you'd like to. I'm going to give you guys a spritz of release, and I'm going to send it your way. So welcome yourself to your practice. We'll find a comfortable place to sit. So sit on something if you want, sit against something if you want. And we're going to draw our left ear to our left shoulder. And we'll take our left hand to our right kind of collarbone shoulder area and extend the right arm long. And take some deep breaths. I want you to breathe into your hand. Stretch out through your wrist so that you can feel elongation from the right side of the neck all the way down your hand. And take 5 deep breaths. On the exhale, kind of grounding, rooting. On the inhale, expanding through this front collarbone area. Trying to feel some movement underneath your hand. You can even dial the chin up or down if that would feel good, just to give yourself some new spots to breathe into. And then go ahead and let that left arm go down to the floor, and then take the right arm up and over for a side stretch. And you can again look down or look straight ahead or up. If you prefer the hand down again like we had it, you can certainly do that. So left arm bending, right waist lifting, stretching. Your right sitting bone might get a little bit lighter. And then just lowering your right arm down to that left knee, slowly roll yourself up, and now you're in a twist. So I'm twisting towards the left. My left hand can be at the small of my back or just down. Kind of letting your head maybe reorient upright if that feels good, or you could look to one side or keep the chin down. And then go ahead and roll back down just like you were, and then walk your hands out in front of you. And round your back, or you can lengthen your spine, whatever feels good. Just let the head go and maybe sway a bit. Maybe you'll find some space in that low back. And then slowly restacking the head over the spine. Reach your arms out to the side. Inhale, stretch, get long. And just take a few side bends where you're just kind of reaching one side, reaching the other. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Susan. Welcome. And then bringing your hands to your heart space for a moment, just feeling the difference in the sides of your neck. And then as you're ready, we're going to take that right ear to the right shoulder. The right hand comes to that left collarbone area, and then the left arm extends. As much as you can, get space between your thumb and your pinky line. Big breaths into that chest area. On the exhale, just kind of sinking down low into your sitting bones. And then you're just gonna let the right arm release to the floor so that you can bend the elbow. Left arm going up and over if that feels okay. And if it doesn't, keep your arm down and low. Adjust your gaze accordingly to what you need. Really see if you can really open up that whole side flank, so that whole area, even like the spaces that maybe feel even tighter near your armpit or maybe the lower pelvis. And then just kind of round towards the floor and then grab onto your right knee with your left arm and then slowly make your way into a twist. And it can be not the deepest twist that you've ever done. Kind of feeling into that shoulder blade. You might even round a bit. It can be a rounded back twist. And then roll yourself back down. Arms come out forward. And again, you may sway right to the left or round the back or maybe pull the chest forward. You can see what feels good for you. And then bring those fingertips in towards your body. Sweep them out to the side. Stretch. Lengthening up. And then once again, just kind of reaching sides. Like those places in the body that get kind of maybe a little foggy or rusty as we sleep. Arms up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. And then letting your head kind of fold in. Kind of tracing your body with your mind's eye just to see any areas of tension that you can kind of soften. So it could be your belly or it could be your hips or your jaw. So just noticing if there's any chronically tight or even just this morning, some tight areas that you can allow your intention to open. And then lowering your hands. I'm going to come back to my mat. So if you're not on your mat, go ahead. And we're going to extend the legs all the way up when we're ready. So pointing toes, rolling ankles. You can even roll the wrist if you want. So you can bend the knees. I want you to feel kind of like your low back is pretty heavy on the mat. So you can allow yourself to do whatever you need to do. If you could bend the knees, bring them forward or back, just so you feel the low back nice and rooted. Rolling ankles, kind of waking up the extremities, your toes, your fingers. And then come into a happy baby. So for some of us, grabbing the outsides of the knees will feel better, since this is like a, first few shapes of the class. If you already feel like you can grab your outer feet, go ahead. See if you can widen the arch from inner seam to outer seam so that you're not sickling the foot in, but rather the arches get wide from big toe to baby toe. You can roll side to side. Sometimes it feels nice to iron out the low back and the sides of the back. Keep your right leg at half happy baby and take your left leg to butterfly pose. So it's like that angular shape. If you want to put a block under your thigh, you can. And again, you can be grabbing onto your knee, or you can use a strap to lasso. Breath in and breath out. Now choose to either go both feet Baddha Konasana before side two, or you can bring that left foot back up. Just take a moment in both legs doing the same thing. And then switch, and then one leg goes into that butterfly pose. That'd be your right leg. Left leg stays in happy baby. Really use the exhale today. So as much as you can, a long, deep exhale. It kind of tells our nervous system, de-escalate, dissipate energy, let go. And then one more breath. And then both feet together, either happy baby, or I'm going to switch it up this time for me, Baddha Konasana. Take a couple breaths to neutralize. And then gathering your knees back in, place them up to the sky again, and then you're going to internally and externally rotate your thighs. So I'm turning at the hip joint right here, right the frontal hip, and you can maybe even feel where this is happening, and I'm turning there. So my knees and ankles are an extension of what's happening at the hip joint. I'm just rotating, rotating. And then a couple more. Then if you have a strap, you can certainly use a strap for this. So I would allow the strap to cross so that I could allow myself to kind of hold it with a little bit less grippiness. And I can go out as far as I want. So if I'm gonna go pretty wide, I won't get across it. And just allow yourself to hang here so that the strap that's right above the heels. And it can be a very mild, wide leg posture. It can be somewhat, but see if you can allow your pubic bone to be centered. So it's not over to the right or the left, but it's right there smack in the middle. And if you don't have a strap, oh, lost in my strap here, I can grab the inner thighs, and that works too. So turning so the inner ankles face up. Breathing in, breathing out. And then bringing the legs all the way back up. And then legs down to the floor. So our first neutral shape, take a moment to kind of cat-cow your spine. So I'm just bringing the tailbone forward and back a bit. Kind of feeling my lumbar curves flatten and then open, flatten and open. Neck is relaxed, and I can do this pretty fast, or I can do it slow. Just kind of allowing a rocking motion to come in through your body. It's a good time to exhale to sigh, to kind of dissipate. Shake out any tension. And then you're ready, the right leg's gonna extend up. Take your hands behind your head. So you can have a nice little clasp, elbows point straight up. So we're just gonna take that right leg and we're gonna lift the spine, and then we're gonna lower the right leg as we lower the spine. So I'm gonna lift up towards my right leg, and I'm gonna lower it down. And that left leg stays pretty solid. As I'm lifting up, try not to lead with your neck, but can you pull the belly down and lift the ribs towards the pelvis without your head being the leader? So the head just gets to follow. So a few more times, lifting and lowering. Aren't you glad I'm not going to make you do that block one with the block on the leg? And then all the way up and hold. So see if you can maybe even grab behind your leg to get a little bit more lift, as long as that doesn't bother your neck. Then allowing that right leg to come all the way down and stretch. Right arm extends overhead and get a big stretch that whole right side seam. And then the right leg comes up, and then the left leg comes up to the sky. And again, just to your own flexibility, you don't have to lift it too high. Then as you're ready, we're gonna lift the shoulders off the mat, the belly pins down, and then we lower. Now, if you wanted to keep the lift, you certainly could without lifting and lowering. But really press into that right leg so you get some nice stability there. Lift and lower, nice and slow. And lower. Lift and lower. Couple more. And then lift and hold, and if you want to grab the leg and get a little bit closer, you can without tensing your neck, so keep the jaw nice and easy. Stretch that leg, and then all the way back down, left arm extends, we get a big stretch to that whole left side seam. Breathe in, breathe out. Then as you're ready, take both legs up to the sky. You could have a strap for this. Again, we did this the other day, so if the strap works, great. If not, don't worry about it. You can always bend the knees. So take your time, pull the belly in. I might move my hips over to the left a bit to drop them to the right. So I might shoulder my legs with a prop of sorts, so it could be pillows, a blanket. If it feels okay to go to the earth, go all the way down. Kind of roll open the left chest. This can be a big one, so the left arm might even want to go overhead. So check that out if that's a better position. It's a big twist. So I'm allowing that left hip to kind of roll down away from my face. And I'm reaching through both of my heels, so it can be a little more active if you want. Again, that whole left side seam. Breathe in, breathe out. Then I'm going to bend my knees to come up, so it's a lot of load on the low back. Come right to neutral, just pause there for a moment. Feeling the low back. And then I'll pick my legs up, move them to the right to extend them down to the left. And again, my shoulder's way off the mat, so I might enjoy my arm up and overhead as I kind of let the hips release. Or over time, I can just kind of let that right shoulder soften down. So the closer your toes are towards your face, the more stretch you're going to get through that lateral hip. It will also kind of help with any low back tension, so you can kind of play with that. Soften your jaw and your face. Then I'm going to bend my knees to come all the way up. Okay, one last little core work here. So if this doesn't work, I'm going to give you an option. So I'm going to have my legs somewhat wide, so maybe they'll mat width, and my arms are going to go over to the side. So I'm going to be pressing through my right shoulder to reach up and tap onto my my left arm to my right toes. And I'm going to come down, and I'm going to switch. So if that doesn't feel good, this bothers your low back, it causes too much strain, then what I want you to do is you're going to kind of lower one leg and you're going to reach up here. So I can just keep the legs up and reach, and I can also keep a neck kind of release or a neck bind here, okay? So widen your feet. Use your core instead of like thrusting your body up. See if you could actually like reach. Yeah, nice work, you guys. Use your breath. So exhale. Yeah, nice, Jen. Come up. Yeah, nice, Melissa. That's it. Really press through that feet. Awesome work, you guys. Yeah, nice, Kathleen. And you're rolling down, kind of massaging your spine on the way down. Yeah, Rachel, nice. Now relax your jaw as you do that. It's easy to start biting your tongue or, you know, gripping your face or squinching your eyes. So all those things, you're gonna do 2 more. You're like, okay, don't watch us forever. We don't wanna keep doing this. Good, and then as you're ready with your legs straight and your arms down, do that same either windshield wiper or that roll where you kind of just allow yourself to rock. Shake any tension out. So just kind of waking up a little bit of the core. We'll continue that a little bit later, but I want you to feel that. And then as you're ready, rock and roll yourself up to all fours. Take your time. So coming to all fours, if you want a cat cow or kind of wag your tail, all those things to kind of wake up the cervical and the thoracic spine. You can even extend one leg and then the other if you want to stretch your calves. So just kind of play around for a moment in your space, whatever would feel good. Just kind of exploring what it's like to be on your hands and knees. And then we're going to kind of tuck the toes under and hover the knees. So you're going to feel the core activate here. Broaden your shoulders, pull the belly in. The knees are pretty low to the mat. And then come up and back, downward facing dog. So it might be a short down dog. It's okay. Hover the knees. Up and back, down dog. Do this 3 more times. Hover the knees, just connecting the core and legs. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And then the last time you're in downward facing dog, go ahead and walk your hands towards your feet. Bend the knees and come into a squat. So your chair pose. Breathe as you sit weight back. So make sure you can see your feet or your toes. So make sure the hips are kind of melting back. Wiggle your toes and then widen from big toe to baby toe. So you really feel the feet. And as you're ready, arms sweep out. We stand up nice and tall. Inhale. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, so we're going to be doing a different kind of sun salutation just to get some heat to the body. Go as slow as you need to go. There's no rush. Our arms are going to stretch up. And on the exhale, we're going to hip hinge and fold forward. We're going to go long spine. Then we're going to come into that squat. And I'm going to walk the hands back into downward facing dog. Come to a hovering knee. And then straighten it out for plank. Take a breath in plank, and then if you want to put your knees down, go ahead, chaturanga if you want to your belly. First cobra, so take plenty of time to set it up. So tops of the feet on the mat, pubic bone getting heavy and anchored, belly pulling back. Then my hands are forward any direction I want, and I pull back, lengthen before I pull the chest up. So I've gotten lots of good grounding strength first. Head is relaxed. And as you're ready, come on down. Knees can stay down or knees can lift, plank. Bring the knees in, downward facing dog. And then bend your knees as you walk the hands back, come to that squat. Forward fold. Then all the way up to sweep or roll, inhale, exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, we're gonna add a lunge to this. Arms stretch up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Halfway lift. And then bend the knees into that squat. Okay, take a deep breath, and you're gonna walk the hands out to all fours. From all fours, downward facing dog. You're gonna step the right leg forward, and then drop to the left knee. Take your time to set up as wide as you need, and come up to a lunge. So if you want this to be a high lunge, you can take 3 breaths here. Really feeling that breath. Exhale, you sink deeper into the earth. Inhale, you get a little bit more lift. So use the breath to create some movement within the stillness. And then on the exhale, we'll take the hands down. We'll come back to downward facing dog. And then we're just gonna go second side right away. Left leg down or forward, right knee down. Take your time. Come up for that lunge. And again, as I exhale, I get a little deeper with the hips, and the inhale, I get a little bit more lift. So I'm kind of just pulsing as I breathe. Then as I'm ready, I'm gonna come back to that hovering all fours, and then left leg straightens, right leg straightens, I'm in plank. If I wanna set the knees down, I can, chaturanga, cobra. The hands go wherever they wanna go. And I get as long as I can from crown to foot. And as I pull the hands back, I draw energy out of my pelvis. All the way down. Knees stay down or lifted, plank. To down dog with bent knees. To walking your hands back. Heels down. You're in that squat. And then you forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the waist, come all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders a few breaths, kind of notice if there's some good heat going in your body. Okay, we're gonna do this 2 more times, changing it up so we get a little bit more openings and twists, so the arms reach up. On the exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Long spine, sit back into a squat. So long torso there. And then as you're ready, hands come down. You're going to walk out to a hovering knee. Hovering knee. And then from here, downward facing dog. Right leg will step forward. It's going to be your twist of choice. So it could be my knee down, hips forward, and I could twist. I could keep my knee up and twist. I could be upright. So many choices. It could be a prayer twist. Want it to be your favorite twist. So as you're ready, you're going to take 3 more breaths. Maybe you're twisting a little bit more on the exhale, and the inhale, you're breathing into the side body. And then hands come down to the floor. We'll step to downward facing dog. And as you're ready, the left leg will come forward. It's going to be your twist of choice. About 5 breaths. Opening up through that whole side seam of your body. 1 more. And then hands come to the floor. This time come to downward facing dog. We're going to do a little jaunt before we get there. We're going to go to side plank right, side plank left. So if you need to put your knee down for side plank, this is where you'll go. Otherwise, you're going to turn the right hand out with the hips lifted. Come to side plank, few breaths. Really pressing the floor away as you lift through that top hip. And then pivot left side, side plank. You can come to down dog first if you need. Coming back to plank. You need to set your knees down. Please do all the way down. Let's go to those cobras. So go ahead, pull the hands back. Yeah, nice, Dawn, good. Nice open chest, release down, yeah. And then either knees down or up, plank. To bringing the knees in, hovering knees. Yeah, and then walking your hands back to your feet. And you're gonna come to that squat. And then from your squat, you're gonna fold down. Long spine, hands to the waist, stand all the way up. Roll those shoulders. I'm just gonna reorient myself so that now I'm facing towards the top of the mat so I could step back, just so you know. Okay, so we're gonna let the left leg be our base, and we're gonna come into tree pose. I'm gonna face you just so you can see. So I externally rotate the leg. Before I lift it though, friends, can you find that inner thigh line? So that's that left inner thigh line from inner pelvis to inner foot. Firm that so that you take some load out of the outer hip, and then you can bring the leg higher if you would like. I could hold the leg if it tends to slide, or I could use my inner thigh to press into my foot. So hands can go to the heart, hands can go up, hands can even go back. You have 5 breaths from here. So you don't just find the inner thigh line of that standing leg, we also want to find the outer, but we want to kind of lift more from the outer instead of press down. So lift from the outer, take another couple breaths, soften your face. So I'm going to, you guys hold this right where you are. I'm just going to show you something. I'm going to step that right leg back, and I'm set for a straight leg warrior 2. But I'm not in warrior 2, just getting the legs set up. Arms go out to the side, let the hips bump back, and come into triangle pose, nice and slow. So a block underneath my left hand could be very helpful. So arm can go up, arm can go over. So I want to find strength in both of my legs, especially that inner thigh line of the front leg, even the back leg. Couple more breaths. And then as you're ready, I want you to press into your legs, find your core, come all the way up. I'm holding my block because I need it. I'm going to turn towards the back of my mat, my original mat. I'll switch the block hands, and then I'm going to come into triangle facing the front of the mat, or that original. So take your time to set up your strong legs. Belly is strong. And I can look down and relax my neck, remember. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so from here, I'm going to leave my block. I'm going to come all the way up. I'm going to bring my hands to my heart. And as I move my body, I'm going to come into a prep for tree on the right. So I might take a couple steps. I'm going to find that right inner thigh line. Then as I'm ready, I might add the left foot. Higher up my leg, but I can also keep it low. I'm going to find my core. I'm going to take 5 more breaths. Trying to soften my face. Feel that steadiness of tree pose. Take another breath in and out. And then reorient, the left leg is down. So I'm going to give you some choices to either step back, cat-cow through that, or if you want a vinyasa, you can take that. So arms reach up. Exhale, fold. You could just do a half vinyasa. So those of you that know vinyasa, go ahead. I could also just go halfway lift. And I could stay an extra beat or 2 in the fold before I roll up. Those of you going through the vinyasa, come all the way back to standing when you're ready. So I didn't show that because I wanted to show an alternative, because if you're protecting wrists or shoulders, then you don't really have to do all that, okay? So we're going to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. The arms are going to reach up. And on the exhale, I'm going to fold forward. I'm going to take a deep breath, inhale, fold again, and then rolling up nice and slow. With my right leg, I'm going to step back towards that straight leg warrior 2. So I'm going to show you a different way. And I'm going to go towards side angle. So I'm going to go ahead and bend that left knee, take my time to come into side angle. So taking my time. So I'm using hand on thigh. You could use hand on block. So the same applies to the triangle shape. We want to feel kind of that inner thigh line of the front leg. Long fibers from pelvis to inner knee. Outer edge of back foot. Couple more breaths. And then from here, you're going to come up into horse pose. So I'm going to turn out that front leg that was straight. And then I'm going to straighten the original front leg. Find my warrior 2. And then I'm gonna go to side angle on the second side. So I know I switched orientations. Sorry if that was confusing. I didn't want you to have the back view here. So breathing, finding those long stretches from outer left foot to outer left hand. Breathe in, breathe out. And as you're ready, coming up, straightening that leg, look towards the front of your mat, step and come forward, okay? And then from here, we're gonna come to down dog together. So arms reach up, bend the knees, fold forward. Long spine. If you want a vinyasa, take one, otherwise just step on back to downward dog, and then you're gonna hold in downward dog. Or child's pose if that's a better. If you know vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, upward dog, cobra, locust, any of those shapes. Otherwise, you're taking them out if you don't want them. Okay? Breathe in and breathe out. So when you're ready, you're going to lift that left leg up, so strengthening from the glute muscle. Come forward to a one-leg plank. Bring that left knee in towards your nose. Shoot it back out. Bring it towards your chest, keep a straight leg, and then step it forward for warrior one. So take your time. I'm going to widen my feet out enough so that I can feel that left hip pull back. And then as you're ready, warrior one with hands at heart, hands up, clasp, any way you want to do it. Okay, we're going to have 5 breaths. So finding that strong stance with your legs, soften jaw. Yeah, so how do you have that softness within your warrior two? Yeah, good. Good. So James, firm up your inner thigh of your front leg and widen it just slightly without moving your foot. Just slightly widen it. Yeah, too much, like 80% less, just a little bit. A little bit less. Yeah, right there, right there. Good, there you go. Okay, one more breath. That was longer than 5, sorry about that. Nice work, you guys. On the exhale, come all the way down. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, take your time. One leg plank, so I'm working all that good leg and core strength. Knee to your nose. Right leg out. Knee to your chest. Feels a little different. Right leg forward. Seal your back leg flat. Warrior one. Soften on in, so find the strength of those strong leg muscles. We work that all month, strong leg muscles. But then softness around your heart. Yeah, great job on this one. Nice work, you guys. Yeah, good. Breathing, awesome. Yeah, nice lift. Take another couple breaths. And then hands down to the floor, all the way down, plank to downward dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, we're gonna take that left leg up. Take it to the outside of your leg. Outside of your leg. Swish it out. And then a funky downward facing dog. We worked this one before. And then as you're ready, realign it and then step it forward, warrior two. So warrior two. So I take my time. And then again, we can go today palms facing up. Maybe even look towards the back of your mat. So you can stretch the pinky line out through your thumb line. And then as you're ready, straighten the legs. Turn and face the opposite way, warrior two. Breathe in, breathe out. And then the arms are going to come up, and you're going to extend forward for your wide leg forward fold. So your arms can be like down dog. Your arms can also be at your ankles, your big toes, or you can grab your elbow creases. So movement's totally fine here. And then as you're ready, turn towards either leg. It doesn't really matter. Plank pose, downward facing dog. Okay, that right leg is gonna lift up. We're gonna take it to the outside of the right shoulder. Okay, and then we're gonna shoot it up and back, wide. And then a funky down dog, take it out to the side, wide. Then hug it in, you're in plank. And then you're a vinyasa or knees down, child's pose or cat-cow or just weight shifting. Do whatever you want to do. And then downward facing dog. Adding some more balance poses in. So we're just going to take that left leg, we're going to lift it up nice and slow so we feel the glute stretch. We're going to stretch that inner thigh line. Preparing for a warrior three. If you want to bend the right knee, we can, so we get a little bit more height. Then step the left leg forward and prepare for warrior three. So I might have my hands at my heart. I might take a slow step before I can come into a warrior three. And I have lots of options for hands back, hands side, hands forward, and heart. But the same principle, working that inner thigh line from inner pelvis all the way down. Yeah, nice work, you guys. So make sure that back leg has lots of energy from your pelvis to your foot. Yes, good. So we're going to land this one, and we're going to land it in a warrior two with straight legs. We're going to take our hands to our heart, or I'm going to take a block if I know I want one, and I'm going to step a little closer, and I'm going to come right into a half moon. So I'm going to take my hand to the top of my thigh so I can feel that reach from my arm to my heel. So the second balance pose. And again, inner thigh line firming on the left, reaching through the right. And as I'm ready, I'm going to soften it back, try that straight leg, turn the toes in, arms reach up, and then wide leg forward, fold again. So fold on down. And it's okay if you're facing the other way, because we're going to come out of it. It won't matter. Yeah, good job. Relax your neck, you guys. Exhale, shake it out. Good. Make sure that weight shifts towards the center of your foot a little bit more, and then turn towards either leg. It doesn't matter. And then you're going to either down dog or cat-cow or vinyasa. Your choice. Then when you're ready, the right leg lifts. And we're preparing for warrior three, so this is a great way to prep. Define that strength of your hips. Define your core. And then step it forward to a warrior three. So taking your time. There's no rush. So get all those components we worked all month. Strong legs. Strong core. Yeah, wake up that foot on your back foot, you guys. Extend your knee fully if you can. Yeah, can you even take that energy all the way to your foot? Good, nice. And then you're gonna land that left leg for a straight leg warrior two. It's just a landing point. Then I'm gonna step in, I like a block. If you don't have a block, I can just step in and I can stay pretty high in a bent knee, and I lift the leg. And I'm gonna keep my hand on my thigh, because that helps me to kind of feel connected from my hip all the way down that leg line. Take another deep breath. And as you're ready, land. Pivot so that you have all 10 toes facing forward. This time, place your hands on your waist. Draw the shoulders on your back. So you should feel strength in the upper back. Tailbone descending. You can bend the knees if you need and fold, keeping your chest open. So my head will get heavy, but I'm hoping that you'll feel your chest stay open. Then when you're ready, hands release down, doesn't matter, turn towards one side. You know the drill. I can do my cat-cow, I can do my hip sways, I can do a traditional vinyasa, or I can even get off my wrist and just roll. Okay. So as you're ready, we're gonna step our hop towards the top of the mat. So we're going to try a little trick to go from ground to standing. You can always do this with a bent knee. So I'm going to kind of show you what we're going to do, and then you can decide if you want to do it. I'm going to loop my peace fingers around my big toe or around my knee, and I'm going to bend the right knee if I'm not grabbing the big toe. I want to find that inner thigh line on my left, find my core, and as I come up, I'm going to come up to a straight leg. So if I have that foot or that bind, ooh, maybe, I'd come up. I can also come up with a straight or a bent knee. It's okay if you have to teeter-totter up. Arm on the left up so you get long. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. And then just swing that right leg back so that you have a warrior one, but it's a shorter stance. It's a shorter stance. So we're going to do a fold here. So I want to make sure your right hip point is somewhat forward. Take your arms out, thumbs up. Inner rotate them. Grab onto your elbow creases, or if you can do reverse prayer, reverse prayer. Make sure this works for your shoulders. So I want you to press into your back leg and lift your chest out of your core. Maybe there's a little bit of the back arch. And then go ahead and release all the way down. It could be halfway, or you could fold in, trying to almost like draw your core towards your pelvis. So it can be a little bit like the core work we did. But make sure this works. If you need your hands on the block because this doesn't work, then just let it go. Yeah, good work, you guys. Let those heads get heavy. Really nice poses. So just listen before you come out. Releasing your hands down to the floor. You're going to bend the right knee, place it to the floor. Okay, so I'm in a low lunge. Then I'm going to kickstand that right heel so that I have now a right angle, and I'm going to come to like a short stance warrior two. So if you didn't get that, just come to that short stance, straighten your left leg. I like a block. It can be on the inside or the outside. It's gate pose. So right arm goes up, and I'm going to hinge towards my straight leg. I'm going to breathe in, I'm going to breathe out. It's okay to let the hips roll a bit. And then as you're ready, we're going to come up. If it feels okay to come down, you can come down and do some little back bending. Conceal that front foot. Okay, so as you're ready, press into that right leg, come up. Bring both knees together. So use your core strength for that. So toes tucked or untucked is okay, either way. And if you want blocks, grab blocks. Otherwise, you don't need them. Hands to the waist, elbows back. Chest lifts. And I'm just allowing my hips to stay forward as I go up and reach back. So the head position is look up, throat back, chin up. So just a slight look back, throat back, chin up. If I have blocks, I can use the blocks. So I'm lifting out of the lumbar spine. I'm drawing my energy from the pelvis down so I feel grounded. And then as you're ready, slowly coming up. You want to sit back for a moment, or you need to move your pelvis. So all we're going to do is turn towards the side, and then you're in a downward facing dog, or you're in a vinyasa, or you're in a child's pose. And then you're going to step or hop to the top of your mat. Here's our second side. So I'm standing in my right leg, and I'm going to come from the ground to standing with my left leg extended. And again, I'm going to show you bent knee. So I'm going to find my core, find my inner thigh, and see if I can come up. And then maybe I straighten it there, maybe I don't, hold on to it. For 3, for 2, and then I just sweep it back. And I'm in that shorter stride of a warrior one. So I have to kind of check it out. Maybe it needs to be longer or shorter. It's a feel thing. But generally when your shoulders come forward, they're lining up with your ankle. Arms out, thumbs up. Inner rotate. I either grab elbow crooks or I come to a reverse prayer. Now I really push my back foot away from me. So I feel the glutes active and I feel lift from my core to my heart. And then I'm going to hinge forward and either go halfway or fold in. If I fold in, I'm using good belly strength. Good belly strength. Yeah, really nice. Relinquish the neck as much as you can. Yeah, good, strong legs. You guys look awesome. Really nice. Yeah. Okay, releasing your arms to the floor. So you take them out and rotate them, hands to the floor. You got it. And then from here, I'm gonna put my left knee down. Then I just pivot so that my ankle's underneath and I come to like a short warrior two. I straighten the right leg. And then here's Parigasana. So I'm hip hinging, but I'm also rolling the hips, reaching over my straight right leg. And I could use a block. So just watch those knees. They tend to want to lock out for this one. So you just want to kind of feel a gentle lift. Just a gentle lift, yeah. And now switch, nice, you guys. Now switch it out, hand that's lifting up and over goes to the floor, and it's a little back bend if you want. So I'll show you. So maybe it's like this, maybe it's hanging. And then using your core, come up. Use your core to bring your knee in, and we have camel again. So camel, again, can be a lot of different ways. So I can also try it this way. I'm gonna show you a different entry. Otherwise, repeat what we did. Like your pinch your fingers, thumb and index, squeeze your heel, and push your chest up. So I'm lifting my chest out of my core. I find strong core work. I push my shins forward, and then from here, I can lift up. So it might kind of give me a greater access to push away from something. I'll come out the same way. You have 2 more breaths. Remember, the blocks are there. Yeah, nice, Susan. Yeah, there you go. Shoulders back, neck long, good. 1 more breath. And then lower your hips. Awesome. Take a moment, breathe it, and then hands forward. We'll go to downward facing dog. And just to re-lengthen the low back, either stay in down dog, or if you want, walk the hands back, come to chair pose. That can be a good stabilizing position to re-lengthen the low back. So just 5 breaths here. If you need down dog, stay in down dog. And then when you're ready, all the way down. Okay? Widen your feet. Widen your feet. So I'm going to show you facing you. So sometimes I need to bend the knees because I can't get my pelvis to tip and roll forward. So this is, again, a perfectly normal position would be to widen and to bend the knees. So as you kind of allow your shin bones to move back behind you, as you widen your feet, you can kind of feel inner thigh line. Now, if you can, grab peace fingers around your big toes, or you can step on your hands if you like that. If none of those work, good old-fashioned grabbing elbow creases or grabbing the back of your hand. You have 5 breaths in this active forward fold. And I mean active by, if you do have your hands, you're actively drawing your body a little closer without straining your neck. It's okay to have bent knees though. Let your neck soften in your jaw. Yeah. Okay. Last breath. Untangle your arms and then bring the hands either to blocks of the floor. Left leg is your base, right leg lifts, standing splits. So remember all that good inner thigh line work we did? Can you imagine like a straw, you're sipping energy from your left foot out through your right? So I'm getting longer and longer and trying to draw that straw away. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then go ahead and replace that right leg down. You can kind of let the hips shuffle and we'll switch sides. So right leg standing splits. Slowly letting the leg come down. Come to a halfway lift so you re-lengthen the low back all the way up to standing. Relax. Okay, I'm going to face you just so you can see. Here's 2 options. One of them is a figure 4. So we've done this one a lot, ankle over thigh. And you can sit back. So you're going to get a little bit more kind of outer hip. Here's another one. So if you had a strap, this one can be helpful for that. So I bring my leg up. I externally rotate and I grab kind of the top of the ankle and I just let it relax. We do this one all the time on our back. So if I wanted to grab the lasso around this, I could grab it here. So it's almost like a half lotus and I can take my arm up. Or hold it same arm, same strap. So this is just kind of a more frontal hip opening. So I'm not trying to yank my leg up my thigh, just wherever it goes. But the trick here, I'll show you again, leg up, external rotation, heel in, and I just grab it and then release the leg. Okay, so either that or figure four. You have 5 more breaths. Same thing applies with inner thighs. You can find a wall space too. Yeah, good job, you guys. Let the weight sink into your heels, those of you that are in figure four. Yeah, good. Yep, that's it. One more breath. Yeah, look at that, you guys, like pros. Okay, untangle it nice and slow, nice and slow. And then you might just want to weight shift. And then we'll do second side. So just going really slow, leg up, external rotation, grab the front of your ankle, let the thigh release. And this is where I like the strap just because it lets you kind of release the leg. And I'm holding it right on the top of right in front of my ankle bone. And then I just lift. Figure four works beautifully, especially if knees have tenderness or if this position causes any pain you don't want to force. Okay, one more breath. And then really slowly externally rotating to come up. Shake it out. Okay, we have one more standing pose. Left leg is your base. Again, come to a mini squat. Right leg over left. You can use a block as a kickstand. You can even use the wall for your low back. Squeeze those inner thighs. Squeeze your inner shins. Left leg over right if you can. I could also do this or this. So allow the shoulder blades to widen. Allow the shoulders to soften down your back as they widen. Allow the facial muscles to soften and your gaze to soften. Okay, let's release the arms, release the legs. Shake it out, and here's our last standing pose. Sink on down. Left leg over right. Squeeze inner thighs, and now squeeze outer shins to get the second kind of outer hip stability. Right arm over left. Softening your facial muscles, breathing into the upper back area. Soft gaze. And then releasing it off. Okay, so coming to the top edge of your mat, we'll vinyasa down and stay on our belly. So if you cat-cow, eventually meet on your belly. Arms reach up. Bend the knees, fold. Long spine. Fold again and step to plank. Let's hold plank for 5 breaths. You can put your knees down if you need. Let's come forward, knees down if you want, chaturanga for 5 breaths. So can you allow the crown of your head to reach, open your chest, strong back muscles, strong core muscles. One more breath, all the way down. We're gonna do a series of back bends. So the first one is cobra. So set it up, remember hands forward is totally fine or by your shoulders, but hug those elbows in like bird wings. My neck is long, my legs press. My pubic bone gets anchored, but my belly is lifting. Pull back, lift up, 5 breaths. It does not have to be high at all. And then release your left ear to the mat. Shake it out. Locust pose. So with locust pose, you can either flatten your hands on the mat, palms down or palms up, or you can lift the arms, lift the legs, okay? So let your nose just gently graze the mat. Shoulders roll on your back. Press through your arms. Now lift your legs. And then if you decide to lift the arms, great. 5 breaths. So I'm feeling back muscles, hamstrings, glutes, calves. And then put your right cheek on the mat. So turn the opposite way. Okay. So either a one leg or a both legs bow pose if you can. So I'm going to show you, we're going to do that one twice, and I'll add in Parshva Dhanurasana if you'd like to at side bow. So here's what you're going to do if you're just going to do one leg. I'm going to either make a forehead pillow and I'll reach back, then I'll lift up if I can, or I'll just lift my thigh up. So that's one. I could also have my arm in front. And I'll do this for 5 breaths, and then 5 or 6, and I'll switch. Right, so that's gonna be a little bit more gentle on your body. Otherwise, I'll reach back. In the first round, I'm gonna lift up for bow, right? The second round, I'm gonna kick and go to the side, and I'll go a few breaths on each. I'm in side bow, lift up, 5 or 3 or 4 breaths on the side. Okay, so that's just if you wanna add in side bow. The trick is to let one leg lift to kind of catapult you over. Okay, so about 6 breaths, 2 rounds. Ready, lift. So now you've got glutes working, back muscles, neck still long. Jaw still relaxed. Yeah. Okay, relax out of first round. Windshield wiper if you need. Now here's the side bow if you want to try it. Just remember, you can always let go if you get stuck. For some reason when we do it, like you can get panicked if you're halfway, just let go. So if you're gonna do side bow, you're gonna lift one leg higher than the other, and you'll roll towards the opposite side. You gotta really do a little, yeah, there you go, Rachel. You had to get a little good, big little kick there. Nice. Yeah, you almost got it, Kathleen, keep going. Woo, kick it over. Yeah, there you go, it's going. So stay there for a couple of nice times. Yeah, so neck relaxes, but you can lift your head if you want, it's up to you. And then switch sides if you're doing side bow. Otherwise, one leg bow, continue. That was awesome. And then when you're ready, come back to neutral. Nice, neutral. So make a forehead pillow so that your neck is neutral. We're gonna come back up to plank. So plant your palms. It can be knee plank. Hold here 5 more breaths again, just to re-lengthen. It could be knees up. And then downward facing dog. And we're gonna hold this as a pose. So if you can, come to some type of stillness. Doesn't mean that your knees won't bend. I want you to let your neck go, and I want you to see if you can get your pelvis to reach even further from your hands. So you might have to shorten your stride again, let your head go. Imagining that I'm kind of drawing my hands at your hip creases, and I'm bringing your hip creases back without moving your arms. Like your arms keep reaching from armpits to palms. Yeah, good work, you guys. 2 more long, deep breaths. Remember those exhales, keep letting them go. Okay, place your knees down on the mat, just come right. We're gonna come to a pose called Dandasana. So I'm just gonna let my knees come to the side, and then I'm gonna straighten them out. So I could sit on a blanket, and the way I'll notice it on a blanket is if my pelvis tends to roll underneath me, and I can't sit up tall. So then I wanna place the blanket behind me, and I want just my sitting bones on the blanket. I want it to tip my pelvis forward, okay? My feet can be shoulder width apart or hip distance if you want. So I've shown you this before, but if folding forward causes my pelvis not to be mobile, then what I want to do is grab that strap, and I'll have a bent knee first, and then over time I'll extend my legs. And I'm hoping what happens is my pelvis is tipping forward. So you can do this with somewhat bent knees and maybe a strap, but we're going to hold here 5 or 6 breaths. First, just in Dandasana, then we'll fold. So we're not folding yet, not yet, but we will. So sitting up nice and tall, so hands by the hips. Shoulders on the back, neck is long. And then if you want to fold, you don't have to. I'll either rebend the knees so that I can allow my low back to get some stretch, some length. And maybe I start to straighten my legs, but I certainly don't have to. Soften your face. Feel a release from your inner thighs all the way to your inner ankles. So now we're lengthening them. And I'll grab onto your knees and come into a boat pose. So I can hold on to the knees, I can let the toes come down, I'll lift the chest. And then I'll go back to Dandasana, that's the sitting up tall. Or if I'd like to do this pose, which is altar pose, I can do this one if I prefer that. It's just a re-lengthening of the low back. Re-lengthening. Then the last one we're going to do for the core is half boat. So half boat, you want to think about rolling down. So now I have a kind of a flex spine. I'm not long. And my eyes will be toe level. So I might lift them both up. I can have my hands behind my head. And I might even go even further down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, come all the way back up. Whew. Okay, so either one last time here, or straight legs, sit up tall. Nice work. Okay, we're gonna bend those knees. We did this pose the other day. I'm gonna show it to you facing you. I bend the knees, and I cross, I kind of stick my knees together like so, or remember we said it was that cheerleader pose, foot to the thigh. This is Bharavajasana twist. So either way, friends, you're gonna twist if your right knee is on bottom or your right leg is forward. We're twisting to the right. So I do press my left hip forward and I bring my heart out of my abdomen and I look over my left shoulder. So if I have my knee, I can kind of gently pull up and out while I release the knee down. Big breaths as I release this whole left hip. And then slowly coming out. So if the right leg is bent, keep it bent and swing the left leg forward. So you can be more at a right angle, or I tend to like my right knee back a bit, so I have a more open angle. This is again where a blanket could be nice. I can also pad under my right knee if the right knee is highly elevated and it causes a lot of tension from my frontal hip. So I'm gonna go left hand behind me to kind of lift up, right arm lifts. If you have a strap, you can grab it, otherwise I'm gonna reach towards my left leg. So I could grab a lasso for that. I could have both hands here too. It really depends on your own body and what you feel. So kind of release from your inner right groins out through your inner right knee so that you can feel that release of the inner thigh muscles. Let the head go. Breathe in, breathe out. And then we're gonna do a side stretch from here. So all I'm gonna do is turn to the right, like I'm twisting again. So I'm gonna turn to the right. If my leg needs to be wider, it can be. So as I turn to the right and twist, I release my left arm either to that strap. Remember before we had a fist, or you can just allow yourself to kind of lean. So my right arm can do a neck release. So I'm gonna now show you side profile. I could do a neck release. I could take my arm up and over. Those of you that have a strap. So sometimes it feels good to kind of bring that arm back. So many different things to do. But it's a side body stretch for the whole right side seam. Big breaths, with a couple more. It's okay for the right sitting bone to lift up a bit. It tends to want to do that. It's okay. And then slowly letting the head be very last as you come up. Okay, so this right knee that's bent is going to come up. It's going to come up. So again, if I need to prop my seat, I'll sit on a block or a blanket. I wrap the left arm around my right knee and I twist to the right. So I'm not crossing the foot across the midline. This one just goes to the inner thigh. And behind the navel, I twist, and I can look towards my straight leg if I want. Again, it's giving me different neck twists or neck stretches. Really churn that belly. This is a great way to release through twisting, just kind of letting your body use the exhales to get a little bit more churning of the digestive organs. One more breath. And then I'll slowly release. Both feet forward for a moment. Shake it out for Dandasana. I'm going to face you again for this last little series. So again, I'm going to lift the legs. I'm going to bend them so that they fold back to the right. So I can just stack the knees like this. Or I can bring the foot to the top of the thigh. Then I'm going to do that twist to the left. So I'm allowing my right hip to press down and away. As I push down the knee, or I pull up on the knee reaches away as well. And I look over my right shoulder. So I'm getting that nice neck stretch. I imagine the heart kind of freeing itself from the belly, so I get even more space. Soften your jaw, one more breath. And then slowly come out. It's the back leg that we're gonna swing forward. And again, you can do a more square stance, like you're doing tree pose, or I can open up the left leg. It's totally a preference for your SI. I can prop my seat by placing my right sitting bone on a blanket or a blanket under my left knee. Right arm behind you, so you get up nice and tall, left arm up. Then I'm going to turn to the right as I fold towards my right leg. So I can grab onto the shin. Doesn't even matter if you have anything to hold on to. I can just kind of place it on the floor as well. So you should feel kind of like a twist and a forward fold. And then really pump in those exhales. Those are great ways to help the twists kind of release anything in your body. Okay, slowly coming out. So you could open a little bit more, but we're going to turn to the left. So I'm turning away from my straight leg. If I had a strap, I'd throw it across my foot so I have it ready. Then as I twist to the left, I open up the right side seam so that I can side bend. Left arm can be up and over. It can be in a neck release. If you have the strap and it feels good to kind of pull it up, sometimes that feels nice. It's really just a playing around and seeing what feels good. You can feel the left sitting bone lighten just a bit, but from the left inner thigh, can you reach to that inner left knee to kind of ungrip any of the adductor muscles that we worked? And then slowly coming out, head is last. Your left knee will lift up as your left foot comes inside your right thigh. So, you know, not too close, but close enough. Right arm grabs that leg to pull yourself forward, so the belly is descending back. Then I twist to the left, but I look to the right. Twist to the left, look towards your straight leg, kind of eyeing those toes. Feeling compression of your abdomen. Once again, stoking digestion. So let those releases come with exhales. Couple more breaths. Softening face and jaw. And then slowly releasing out, both legs straight. Shake it out, windshield wiper. So a couple options for your hip stretch. So if you want to go do pigeon or figure four again, you can. I'll recommend Gomukhasana on your back. We did a lot of wide angle poses. So it's similar to the eagle pose we did, but the ankles go wide. I can touch the top of the kneecaps and bring them in. Or I can grab the outer shins or inner shins and bring them forward. Some of you can even grab the ankles. So you can do this seated as well, or if there's another hip stretch that gives you a lot of good sensation, then you take that one. And if a hip stretch isn't what you're feeling like, if you want something else, you can also just do something else too. So those are options too, if you feel like a bridge or a back bend. Okay, so switch the legs when you're ready. You might windshield wiper in between, or just uncross and cross again. Okay. Nice work. And then slowly unraveling the legs. So for a final kind of inversion, you could do legs on the walls or your legs on a sofa. So you could have your feet up a wall and they could rest against the wall or a sofa. You could put a block underneath your low back and rest there and dangle your feet. Yeah, so it's like whatever shape gets your hips over your heart or your legs up, right? Just to kind of let the fluid from the legs. And if that just doesn't seem like what you need, you can just go ahead and lay on your back. But I want you to get as cozy as you can. So really kind of let the energy of the legs that we worked this whole month kind of just roll back into the heart. So I'll give you kind of an imagery. Pisces is like known to be like the ocean. So I want you just to kind of imagine one of those days in which, if you've ever been in one of those warm, maybe Caribbean, definitely probably not the Pacific Ocean, in which you can just kind of lay on your back and you can feel kind of held up by the water. You kind of feel your body just being supported completely. I want you to try to mimic that feeling of weightlessness, of floating, of easefulness, no trying. Maybe there's some sighs or a gentle smile that comes over your face for a moment. Just in kind of thinking of that feeling of letting go, of no longer needing to try, to work. That returning to all that is. So you might even say something like all is well and send that vibration through your body, or it is as it should be. I am that. And just let yourself drift for a moment or two. Imagining that water all around you, holding you up, letting you relax. So start to bring an awareness of your breath again. So maybe you'll deepen your breath or you'll sigh. So take a giant breath in on your next inhale, hold it for a moment or two, and then really enjoy letting it go nice and slow and let every little breath come out. So just that last final push of that last exhale. And then once again, a big giant breath in, holding at the top, feeling that fullness, and then nice and slowly letting it easefully exit your body. And then just breathing naturally, normally. You might want to roll to the side of your body or start to wiggle or shake your hips again. And then when you're ready, slowly coming up to a seat. Bringing your hands to rest somewhere along your body in a loving, respectful way, honoring your presence, your body. Take a couple breaths in. Maybe there'll be one thing today that you'll just let be undone, that you'll let be messy or unfinished, that you can just go, I can let this go. And maybe it's a thought or an emotion or a mental obligation, right? Anything. We can practice letting go. The light in me honors the light in you, friends. Namaste.